This is the OTB Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses, brought to you by Parting Glass Racing. I'm Jean Wood. We'll start things out with a two-year-old race. We'll head to Delaware Park in their first two-year-old stakes race of the season. Two-year-olds going 4.5 on Saturday at Delaware in the par 4.
We're set. In there, off. Here comes the storm, got away tardily from the gate. Affluence between horses, up on the outside. Quickly on the move, there goes Here Comes the Man. Here comes the man trying to cross over, get that lead into the turn, and does so. Here comes the man by 2. Affluence racing in second. Then a gap of 3 lengths further back to Speed Demon. Firepole on the inside. A gap of 3.5 more to Just Like Daddy. Argentine Talisman and Here Comes the Storm are the trailers as they make their way around the bend. Affluence driving up on the outside to take on Happy the Man as they make their way around the bend. Then a gap of about 2.5 lengths further back to Firepole trying to muster rally. Speed Demon on the far outside. Affluence now takes over with a furlong to go. Quickly opens up 2.5, 3 lengths on the field. Dropping back, Happy the Man toward the inside. Now angling to the rail, Firepole on the outside. Speed Demon, late rally from Just Like Daddy and Argentine Talisman, but Affluence is going to win another one. Affluence wins it by 5. They're battling for second. It's going to be tight there in between horses. Speed Demon on the outside, Just Like Daddy. On the inside, it was Firepole.
Affluence picking up the victory, now 2 for 2 with a 6th length drawing clear romping win at almost 11-1 over Speed Demon, the favorite in the field of 7, with Firepole back in third. The winner, Affluence, had won a close maiden special weight at Delaware Park. His two rivals just behind him here, coming out of Kentucky maidens, but Affluence picking up the victory, 6.25 lengths the better of this field. Affluence is a 2-year-old son of Zavita from Irish Crystal by N-Sweep, bred in Kentucky by Hester Siebrecht and owned by Ron Potts, trained by Ron Potts and ridden to victory by Jose Valdivia Jr. Affluence covers the 4.5 in 51.97. We'll head now to Monmouth Park, where they opened up their spring and summer meet with a bit of a buzz. They're going to be running an abbreviated meet with extended purses, and we'll start out with a pair of stakes races on Saturday, beginning with older sprinters in the decathlon.
And they're on in line.
Go!
They're racing in the decathlon, and Mannington broke like a rocket out of the gate. Alongside is Go-Go Shoot, these two away for the lead together. Mr. Fantasy and At the Disco are right behind them. Then Congressional Page, Tommy's Memory on the inside, and Lee's Good Looking Gray trails 6 off the lead. And now Go-Go Shoot is the pace setter up the backstretch. Mr. Fantasy on the outside is second, and now moving up is Tommy's Memory into third. Mannington, who broke sharply, is fourth along the rail, 2 off the lead after a 22 1/4. Then it's At the Disco alongside, followed by Congressional Page, who's got 6 lengths to make up. Lee's Good Looking Gray, the trailer. Mr. Fantasy takes the lead on the outside of Go-Go Shoot. They're 1-2 coming to the quarter pole. Tommy's Memory 2.5 behind them. Congressional Page has 5 to make up. A 44 1/2 mile, they're into the stretch. And Mr. Fantasy comes down to the 8th pole in front. On the inside, Go-Go Shoot tries to fight on. Tommy's Memory and Congressional Page are closing in. Congressional Page down the center of the track, trying to catch Mr. Fantasy. Here he comes. Congressional Page runs them down in the decathlon. Mr. Fantasy was second, and then Go-Go Shoot or Tommy's Memory.
Congressional Page picks up the victory. This is a horse that's been running against some very nice sprinters, was second in the Commonwealth last time out at Keeneland in a Grade 2. His prior sprint had been a solid second behind Munnings down in Gulfstream Park over the winter. He scores by 3/4 of a length over Mr. Fantasy, who'd gotten to the lead, but it was a hard-fought effort to do so, with the very fast Go-Go Shoot as the favorite, settling for third. Congressional Page is a dark bay of brown gelded son of Orientate from Page Dancer by Hennessy. Bred in Kentucky by Needham Betts Thoroughbreds and Partners, owned by R. Larry Johnson, trained by Mike Trombetta, ridden to victory by Carlos Marquez Jr. Congressional Page covers the 6 in 109.55. Next up, we'll continue with Saturday stakes races, this time at Monmouth Park on the turf in the Elkwood.
They're racing in the Elkwood Stakes. And off to an even break. Get Stormy out of the gate fast. Roman Tiger and Kiss the Kid between those two. Down on the inside is Staying On, who's taken back off the pace in fourth. Then it's Indian Dance and Pleasant Strike. Into the stretch first time round, and Get Stormy and Eddie Castro will make the pace, and they're clear by a length. Kiss the Kid is second. Staying On now switched outside by Joe Bravo, and is third as they move for the clubhouse turn. Roman Tiger saves all the ground in fourth, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Pleasant Strike right behind, and Indian Dance trails the field 5 off the lead. 24-1 was the first quarter. A moderate tempo for Get Stormy, who heads onto the backstretch 3/4 of a length in front. Staying On and Kiss the Kid are right behind, second and third. Staying On 3 deep as they enter the backstretch. Kiss the Kid is in between the two front runners, and it's 2.5 back to Roman Tiger and Pleasant Strike. These two are right together, 3 lengths clear of Indian Dance, who is trailing the field after a 47 3/2 mile. Get Stormy 3/4 of a length in front. Staying On is second to the outside. Roman Tiger comes up the fence. Pleasant Strike is gaining ground now. Pleasant Strike within a length and a half of the lead. Kiss the Kid has lost ground to the front runners, and Indian Dance trails. Get Stormy on top, midway on the far turn. 3/4, 111 flat. It's been an easy pace. On the outside, Pleasant Strike is second. Roman Tiger cuts the corner in third, and then it's Staying On, and they're into the stretch. Get Stormy to the 8th pole in front, clear by 2. Roman Tiger switches outside, and then it's Pleasant Strike, followed by Kiss the Kid, but it is Get Stormy running away, and Get Stormy goes all the way in the Elkwood. Roman Tiger was second, Kiss the Kid third, then Pleasant Strike.
Get Stormy returns off of a very successful season last year as a 3-year-old to win his first start as a 4-year-old. He has now won 5 in a row, going back to last July, where he won a pair of races at Saratoga and Allowance, and then the Lure Stakes, and he has just gotten better and better. Here he draws clear on the front end to win by 3.5. It was Roman Tiger crossing the line in second. He did come out near about the 8th pole, causing interference. He was moved back to 4th. So Kiss the Kid, who crossed the line 3rd, moves up into the 2nd spot as Pleasant Strike, the favorite, moves into 3rd on the DQ. Get Stormy is a 4-year-old bay, son of Stormy Atlantic, from Foolish Gal by Kiri's Clown. Bred in Kentucky by Mary A. Sullivan and owned by the Solomar stable, trained by Tom Bush and ridden to victory by Eddie Castro. Get Stormy covers the mile in a 16th in 140.04. We'll continue at Monmouth Park. Sunday stakes feature the $100,000 Spend a Buck for 3-year-olds.
They're racing in the Spend a Buck. Our Dark Knight came out well. Ruled by Night on the outside and Ale Reef between those two. Then a Boyer away running in 4th by Elusive Star, 5th along the rail. A Fleet again is next on the outside and caught wide into the first turn. In between horses, Medallia's Express is after that. And then the trailer, Nacho Friend, who's racing 7 lengths off the lead. And now Ruled by Night has taken over on the first turn. Ruled by Night on top as they make their way to the backstretch, clear by a length. Our Dark Knight, Ale Reef, head and head right behind a 24 flat opening quarter. A Boyer is just outside of them. Then a Fleet again, who lost ground on that first turn outside of Medallia's Express. My Elusive Star is only 4 lengths off the lead, and the trailer Nacho Friend is hard held in the back, and he's 7 lengths behind as they continue down the back stretch. Ruled by Night and Edgar Prado a half length in front. Ran a half in 49 and 2. It's been an easy pace. And then it's Ale Reef, a Boyi to the outside. Our Dark Knight along the rail. A Fleet again is on the far outside with 2 lengths to make up. And then it's My Elusive Star, followed by Medallia's Express and Nothing Yet from Nacho Friend. They make their way around the far turn. And it is Ruled by Night on the inside. A Boyi, Ale Reef, a Fleet again caught wide. Our Dark Knight's in the race, only 2 lengths behind. And they're into the stretch. And it's Ruled by Night in front. To the outside of Boyi, a Fleet again has gone very wide, drifting to the middle of the racetrack. Our Dark Knight comes to an opening between horses. Into the final 16th, a Boyi, Our Dark Knight, a Fleet again, a Boyi, and John Velasquez have won the Spend-A-Buck over Our Dark Knight and a Fleet again, then Nacho Friend and Ruled by Night.
Drawing a pretty interesting field of horses, the Spend-A-Buck goes to IB Boyi by a game half length over the late moving Our Dark Knight. Set a stalking trip, had to take back a little bit of a notch, and then rallied willingly to finish second to Fleet again, who didn't quite get the pace that he got in the Withers last time out, still rallied and finished a solid third after having a little bit of a difficult start. He was fractious in the gate, was a little bit wide, and still rallied fairly well. The winner, IB Boyi, a very nice racehorse. This is a 3-year-old New York bred who has really moved from strength to strength. He's 5 for 10 lifetime, was second last time out to a Fleet again in the Withers. Now running his record to 5 for 10 with yet another out-of-town stakes victory. IB Boyi is a 3-year-old son of medalist from Expect Excellence by Pentelicus. Bred in New York by Dr. Patricia Purdy and owned by the Ann Stu stable, trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by John Velasquez. IB Boyi covers the mile in 70 and 143.10. We'll pause for a brief moment. When we return, we'll be taking a look at stakes racing action from out of town, Churchill Downs, Indiana, and Arlington up next. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. Next up, we'll head to Churchill Downs in the Louisville Handicap for older horses going long on the grass.
In the gate. And they're off. March to Victory broke a step slow. Hidden Glance is held up to the outside as they go through the first furlong in the 73rd running of the Louisville Handicap. And it is Telling who moves to the early lead. Free Fighter on the outside in second. Blushing Bear against the hedge in third. Eagle Poise in fourth. And then Bear Path in fifth, but now overtaken by Silverfoot as they go into the turn. Silver Mountain taking a strong grip round the outside of runners. March to Victory is next, then Brass Hat, and Hidden Glance held up at the back of the field through a meandering 25 and 3 opening quarter mile. Telling has the lead, and it's an easy lead as they come down the lane for the first time. Free Fighter, and between horses Eagle Poise against the hedge is Blushing Bear. A break then of 2.5 lengths back to Silver Mountain. Silver Foot just changed his legs there as they went down the lane. These then being followed towards the outside by Brass Hat, who takes a nice healthy tug to the outside of March to Victory. Bear Path shuffled back through the field, and the back marker is Hidden Glance. That half mile, 51 and 1. Less than a circuit to go now in the 73rd running of the Louisville Handicap, and it's Eagle Poise who makes the first move. He now takes the lead and moves on by 3 parts of a length. Telling is racing in second, and then in third is Free Fighter. On the inside, Blushing Bear is in fourth as the tempo now increases going down the back stretch. The leading quartet now are 5 lengths clear of Silver Mountain in fifth. March to Victory makes an early move. Brass Hat towards the outside. Silverfoot against the hedge, followed then by Bear Path, and still at the back of the field is Hidden Glance. They're inside the final half mile now, and towards the inside Eagle Poise, towards the outside Telling. These are still the first two, followed then by Free Fighter. On the inside is Blushing Bear, followed on the inside by Silver Mountain. He gets to work on Brass Hat. Brass Hat now begins to make a sweeping move to the outside, and Bear Path is following him through as they come to the top of the lane. Free Fighter round the outside of Telling. Eagle Poise to the hedge, then Brass Hat towards the inside. Blushing Bear down the outside is Bear Path, but it's Free Fighter and Francisco Torres who go for home. They split the field. They've gone clear by 2.5 lengths. Brass Hat is giving game chase. On the outside is Bear Path. Free Fighter is out in front by 2 lengths, and on the run to the line, Free Fighter wins the Louisville Handicap. A second win in the race for jockey Cisco Torres. It was Bear Path in second, Brass Hat in third, Tight Call fourth, Silver Mountain on the outside of Telling.
Free Fighter picks up the victory. Nice effort by this horse's back with trainer Chris Block. His last 2 had been kind of dull efforts at Keeneland and the Fairgrounds and Allowance Company, but prior to that his form had been very, very sharp. He returns to that sharp form as he picks up the victory from just off the pace by 2 lengths over Bear Path, with Brass Hat back at the age of 9 completing the order of the top 3. The winner, Free Fighter, a chestnut gelding, a son of Out of Place from taxable deduction by Prized, was bred in Illinois by Team Block, owned by Thomas Fedro Sr. and Team Block, trained by Chris Block and ridden to victory by Francisco Torres. Free Fighter covers the 1.5 miles in 2:31.30. We'll head to Indiana Downs next. Last Wednesday evening, their stakes feature the Indiana Live Casino Stakes, this $75,000 event at a mile on the turf for fillies and mares.
Waiting for number 6, Ladies Laughter. All set, they're all in line. And they're off. Along the inside, that's News Brief for the lead with Awesome Granny. Center of the track is Cooley, Ladies Laughter up there, and also with the leaders early is Meadow Saffron. 4 horses across the track early as they move on to that first turn. And on the inside, it's a Cooley. In between horses, Ladies Laughter. And up on the outside of Meadow Saffron in third. It's another 1.5 lengths to War Tigress on the outside, 3 wide in fourth. Then in between horses, Project Rose is fifth. Tucked in along the inside, Awesome Granny. This field is tightly bunched on the front end. Then Giddy Up Gaddy with Krista's a Quick Chick. And the trailer is News Brief. Quarter was 23 and 2.5 in 47 seconds. Onto the far turn they go, and it's War Tigress outside. In between horses, Ladies Laughter. And up on the outside, there goes Krista's Quick Chick. And Krista's Quick Chick and Ben Creed making a charge after the lead. It's another 1.5 lengths back to Project Rose and Sean Bridgman. 3/4 and 1:11 and 3, and they're on their way home. And on the inside, Ladies Laughter is digging in gamely. Up on the outside, Krista's Quick Chick. And from far out of it, Meadow Saffron and Victor LeBron in deep stretch. Meadow Saffron on the outside, coming on to win it.
And Meadow Saffron picks up the victory by a half a length with a 5-wide bid over Krista's Quick Chick with Ladies Laughter, completing the order of the top 3 after dueling inside throughout the early going. The winner, Meadow Saffron, is a dark bay or brown mare, a daughter of military from Gigi Gear by Golden Gear. Bred in Kentucky by Brady Lee Farm and owned by Frederick J. Seitz, trained by the owner and ridden to victory by Victor LeBron. Meadow Saffron covers the mile in 136.62. We'll continue now with a pair of stakes races from Arlington Park for 3-year-olds on the turf. We'll start things out with 3-year-old fillies in the American 1000 Guineas.
Kilmore Key unsettled. And they're off for the American 1000 Guineas. And a sharp start for Queen of the Creek. Here's Go Ask Alex going out toward the front 2 for Chris Amy as they make their way into this first turn. It's Go Ask Alex. Lucky Lass up the rail. Orchestrator's right there along with Shanti Nela. And Queen of the Creek is running 5 wide through the first turn. Besitos follows the trail up the rail. Bay to Bay is one off the fence and an in amongst horses. And Kilmore Key, that Irish bred, dropping back to last. The opening quarter on soft turf for Go Ask Alex, 24 4/5 seconds. So Go Ask Alex in the leading role in front of a tracking Lucky Lass. Queen of the Creek is keen on the outside for Jose Lescano, and Orchestrator holds the fence in 4th. Shanti Nela just in 5th. At the inside is Besitos. Bay to Bay in between fillies going past the half-mile pole and settled in last. Kilmore Key still trails. A half mile in 49 seconds flat as they go to the far side of the Arlington course. Go Ask Alex in front, leading Lucky Lass, still tracking well. Queen of the Creek is now being asked to pick up. 3 furlongs out, Queen of the Creek. Orchestrator is 4th but under pressure. Bay to Bay between horses. Shanti Nela, then Kilmore Key, and Besitos has dropped back to last, now in the shadow of the quarter pole. Go Ask Alex, this long-time leader, through 3 quarters and 1:14 flat. They've turned the corner in the American 1000 Guineas. Go Ask Alex trying to see this through with a furlong to go. Here comes Bay to Bay, and she's quickening now. Bay to Bay is hunting down Go Ask Alex. Queen of the Creek is 3rd, then Shanti Nela and Orchestrator. It's Bay to Bay and Robbie Alvarado. Bay to Bay going away from running 2nd on the wire was Go Ask Alex, and Queen of the Creek finished 3rd.
Bay to Bay makes herself another winner coming out of the Appalachian Stakes, which has now produced 3 next out winners, including Go Ask Alex, who had won at Indiana Downs in the interim. She ran a solid 2nd. Queen of the Creek completes the order of the top 3. The winner, Bay to Bay, who was a solid 2nd last year up in Canada in the Mazarin, to Biofuel, who was a very nice filly. We're going to see in a few minutes here on the program. Bay to Bay, obviously a nice rallying move, splitting horses, and looks like yet another nice 3-year-old filly on grass. She is a daughter of Sligo Bay from Bala by With Approval, bred in Florida by Adina Springs and owned by Robert Smithen, trained by Brian Lynch and ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado. Bay to Bay covers the mile in 139.24. We'll head right back to Arlington, 3-year-old colts in the Arlington Classic.
And the gate. And they're off to an even start in the Arlington Classic, and Working for Hops going out toward the front. Here's the California Raiders Summer Movie coming up on the outside, and Family Foundation is a handy 3rd. Mr. Mardi Gras inside of Family Foundation at the first turn, where Working for Hops just leads Summer Movie. Indy Scent is 3 wide on the soft ground as they turn. Alpha Robbie comes up the fence, and then comes at the back of the pack Gleam of Hope and Our Champion Trails. Around the first turn, Robbie Alvarado, the pilot, with Working for Hops, who covers the opening quarter in 24 3/5 seconds. Working for Hops leads by just over 2 from a tracking Summer Movie, 2nd by 5. Mr. Mardi Gras just 3rd. Family Foundation is 4th. Indy Scent in 5th. Alpha Robbie up the fence, and then we come back to Gleam of Hope and Our Champion. Working for Hops charts the course in the Arlington Classic to the half-mile pole. Working for Hops. remains in front of Summer Moving and Mr. Mardi Gras through a half mile in 49 seconds flat. Then Family Foundation on the outside is in descent 3 to 4 wide at both turns. At the inside, Alpha Robbie has drawn to within 4 lengths off the leader. Working for Hops, who's out in front. Then Gleam of Hope being ridden, and our champion. Working for Hops in front, Mr. Mardi Gras Family Foundation. Alpha Robbie comes up the fence. In descent is being ridden at the quarter pole, where Working for Hops led. Then Gleam of Hope, our champion, and Summer Movie, the one who tailed off. Working for Hops at the top of the stretch. 3/4 in 1:14 and 3. Working for Hops under a confident Robbie ride in the final furlong. Working for Hops leads by 3.5 lengths from a fully stretched Alpha Robbie in the final 16th. And on the outside is Gleam of Hope now third. It's Working for Hops, and Robbie Alvarado sweeps the stakes. Working for Hops made all. Alpha Robbie was second, then Gleam of Hope, Mr. Mardi Gras, and our champion father back.
Working for Hops, another one in from Kentucky, where he had most recently run 5th in the American Turf at Churchill Downs after a little bit of a poor start. Here gets to the front, never looks back, winning off by 2.25 lengths from Alpha Robbie, who rallied strongly to finish second. Gleam of Hope splitting horses late, finishing third. Working for Hops is a chestnut son of City Zip from City Pearl by City Dancer. Bred in Kentucky by Amy Bondon and Tom McNally, owned by Estro Race Limited and trained by Michael Stidham. Ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado, Working for Hops covers the mile and a 16th. A turf course labeled good, but the results of both the Guineas and the Classic a little bit on the slow side. The mile and a 16th for the Colts going in 1:45.43. We'll pause now for one more brief message. When we return, we'll be heading to Woodbine, out to California, and then back home to New York. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now in Canada. On Sunday, the stakes feature for 3-year-old fillies, the $150,000 La Lorgnette.
They're off in the La Lorgnette Stakes. Bit of an awkward start there for Red Verse between runners. From the outside, Witch's Coven to take the early lead under the wire initially. Then a T Game and Moment of Majesty is down to the inside. This isn't a very quick pace out there, and it's Witch's Coven. Now it quickens a little as they run to the 7/8 pole. Witch's Coven. Down to the inside is Moment of Majesty, T Game in a third position. Then we have Earnfold, who's fighting McElhaney down on the rail. To the outside of that one's Red Verse. Then Empire Spring and Biofuel at the back of the pack. 25-1 for that opening quarter. And they're into this Woodbine backstretch. And it's Robert Landry coddling Moment of Majesty on a neck advantage. Witch's Coven's on the outside in second position. Just in behind them, Earnfold still keen and down on the rail. Then we have T Game between horses. Red Verse is on hold. On the far outside is Empire Spring, who's just 2.5 lengths off the lead. The rail opened up, and Earnfold just made a quick move to the front. They ran a half in 50-1, and Earnfold has taken over Biofuels, commencing a run at the 3/8 pole from last. It's Earnfold with 2.5 furlongs to go. Moment of Majesty is in a second position. Empire Spring is third. Biofuels under a rousing ride at the quarter pole, and they turn for home in the La Lorgnette. And it's Earnfold, put to an all-out drive, drifted out a bit. Empire Spring, and here comes the champion, Biofuel, in full stride. And it's Biofuel who comes from last and pulls away in the final 16th to win the La Lorgnette. Earnfold was second, a show photo between Moment of Majesty and Empire Spring.
Biofuel picks up the victory. This was her first start back after rallying very strongly last time. Her second start back after rallying strongly last year in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. She's now 2 for 2 at the age of 3. She picks up the victory over Earnfold, with Moment of Majesty completing the order of the top 3. Obviously still accustomed to her rallying ways, Biofuel is a 3-year-old daughter of Storm and Fever from Miss Cornstalk by Indian Charlie. Bred in Kentucky by Brereton Jones and owned by the breeder, trained by Reed Baker and ridden to victory by Eurico da Silva, Biofuel covers the mile in a 16th in 145.49. We'll head to the West Coast now. California, Hollywood Park, featuring a graded stake on Saturday, that the Las Barrera Memorial for 3-year-olds, going 7.
They're off. Good start. Macias shows speed to the outside, Smiling Tiger. These two fast into stride. Mr. Tokyo is next. Then to the outside end, Concord Point. Big Man Has a Sign and Skip Shot are next. Then Dixie Trooper and Domination. And the early trailer is Hawaiian Springs. Smiling Tiger fastest up the backstretch. Now Concord Point makes a move and comes after Smiling Tiger. Macias stays at the rail. Smiling Tiger 3/4 of a length. He's bracketed by Baffert runners up the backstretch. Concord Point 3 wide and Macias at the rail. Then Skip Shot. He races in 4th. Only 2.5 off the lead. Big Man Has a Sign just outside of him. Mr. Tokyo, Dixie Trooper and Domination are 6 from the front. 8 lengths last to Hawaiian Springs. 3 furlongs to go in the Las Barrera Stakes, and Smiling Tiger goes to the quarter pole a length in front of Concord Point in second. It's another length to Macias in third. Skip Shot is 4th, but now he's 4 from the lead. Domination outside of him. Dixie Trooper and Big Man Has a Sign, and they're at the top of the stretch. Smiling Tiger has the lead, trying to make it tight for Macias down at the rail. Smiling Tiger leads. Macias going to have to angle outside of him. Concord Point has a chance. Domination in the center is closing ground. Smiling Tiger, Concord Point trying to gun him down on the money. Smiling Tiger, Concord Point, a final lunge. Smiling Tiger! Smiling Tiger wins the 17th Las Barrera Stakes. He beat Concord Point by a neck.
Smiling Tiger makes his seasonal debut, or second start of the season rather, a winning one after having run 3rd in the seasonal debut last time out in Harry Henson. Picks up the win by a half a length on the front end over Concord Point, the favorite in the field of 9, Domination, who would face some pretty solid company in the early portion of the year, completing the order of the top 3, dropping back to sprinting. The winner, Smiling Tiger, is a chestnut son of Hold That Tiger from Chandra Smiles by Cahill Road. Bred in Kentucky by Dr. Rodney Orr, owned by Alan Klein and Philip Lebhertz. Trained by Jeff Bondi and ridden to victory by Victor Espinoza, Smiling Tiger covers the 7 in 121.34. Next up, Calbred fillies and mares on Sunday afternoon, going a mile on the turf in the Franz Valentine.
They're off. Good start. You Are All That I Am and a Hard Scent Woman Warrior. These two fast into stride. You Lift Me Up and Lady Alex with Salty Fries between horses. 2 by 3 at the clubhouse turn. Woman Warrior is the leader. It's Woman Warrior to the backstretch as You Are All That I Am now backs off and will sit second. Woman Warrior leads by a length and a half. You Are All That I Am races in second. You Lift Me Up is 3 deep to the backstretch. She's a joint third just outside of both Salty Fries and Lady Alex. 4.5 from first to last as they turn up the backstretch in the 16th Friends Valentine Stakes, and Woman Warrior is doing it comfortably up front. It is Woman Warrior to the half-mile pole. She extends her stride and her lead to a solid 3 lengths over You Are All That I Am in second. Lady Alex moves inside of that one. You Lift Me Up will be 3 wide, leaving the backstretch. She's in striking position 4 from the front. Salty Fries just inside of her. Woman Warrior 3 furlongs from the wire and 3 lengths in front of You Are All That I Am, who's asked to go after her in second. You Lift Me Up is still 3 deep, and she's 3 from the lead. Then comes Salty Fries between horses, and at the rail, Lady Alex. You Lift Me Up is now last at the top of the stretch. Still could do it, but she'll have to go. Here comes You Are All That I Am outside of Woman Warrior. You Lift Me Up and Salty Fries are 3.5 behind, and You Are All That I Am has taken the lead, and she's going to win the Friends Valentine. You Are All That I Am, Woman Warrior, Salty Fries. You Are All That I Am. You Are All That I Am won by better than 2. Woman Warrior was second, Salty Fries third, close for fourth. You Lift Me Up and Lady Alex.
You Are All That I Am. This is a very nice and I must say very well managed mare in the Calbred, filly in the Calbred environment. She is now 8 for 15. Most of those races within the state breds. She has moved out into open company from time to time with some success as well. But when kept to the right company, she has been absolutely monstrous. She won the Be Thoughtful here last month and was a good second in the Irish O'Brien on the downhill turf at Santa Anita 2 back. She scores over Woman Warrior with Salty Fries back in third. It was a length back there to the favorite in the field, the odds-on choice, You Lift Me Up, off a third in the Wilshire and a couple of prior wins, taking a lot of money in the show pool, setting it up for some very big prices in the show pools in the Friends Valentine on Sunday. You Are All That I Am is a 4-year-old chestnut filly, a daughter of Valid Wager from Fort Silver by Calgary, bred in California by Tommytown Thoroughbreds and owned by the breeder. Trained by Jerry Hollendorfer, ridden to victory by Rafael Bejarano. You Are All That I Am covers the mile on turf in 134.63. We'll head back home to New York now. Belmont Park hosting the Grade 2 Sheepshead Bay for fillies and mares on the grass on Saturday.
And they're off. Bubbly Jane missed the break, but they've got a long way to go yet. So they move Bias for the first time, making that long run for the first turn. Perry down inside, well off the rail. Treat Gently up close, hard held second. The Galem Girl is in between horses, looking to get over inside. Occupying that spot down on the rail is Bubbly Jane. Then on the far outside is Liberally. So the field moving into the first turn, and Pari has established the lead. Pari out on top. Treat Gently is second on the outside, followed by the Galem Girl third toward the rail. Liberally is now fourth. Bubbly Jane fifth on the inside, followed by Ballyno, and 3 lengths back to Nahanta Cat, who is reserved in the early stages here. So into the backstretch run, and John Court giving Pari a little free rein to run here. The opening quarter was 24 2/5 seconds, the half in 49 2. So they begin that long run down the backstretch with Pari on top, uncontested 2.5 lengths ahead of Treat Gently, running along a solid second. Liberally on the outside of the Galem Girl, who's fourth. And then Bubbly Jane was just on the inside of Ballyno. Another 5 lengths back to Nahanta Cat. Ramon Dominguez gives her a gentle reminder. He'd like to get her a bit closer, it appears, as they make their run up the backstretch after 3 quarters in 1:13 and 4. Now the field approaching the far turn. Pari's been in front the whole way, an uncontested lead with 4 furlongs to go. Treat Gently has been second throughout. Liberty has to pick it up now. Liberty in a drive, now running in third. Then on the inside, it's the Galem Girl, who's back racing in fourth. Bubbly Jane is set to roll now. Bubbly Jane only 3 lengths from the lead. And Nahanta Cat is caught up to the field. And Nahanta Cat is down inside. But still 6 lengths away from the lead. And the leader is now Treat Gently. Treat Gently off the turn with the lead. Pari has now given way. Bubbly Jane is there and produced on the far outside. Then down toward the inside is the Galem Girl. And in between horses, Nahanta Cat. But it is Treat Gently in full stride for the wire. Treat Gently, a decisive score here today. 1 by 5. Close for second there. It appeared Nantucket outnosed Bubbly Jane for the runner-up spot. The Galem Girl was fourth.
Treat Gently returns to the winner's circle for the first time in a while. She had run a good second in the San Gorgonio several races back in her first start for Belmont. Subsequent to that, she had run a couple of disappointing performances, but here rebounds to win by 4.5 lengths over the late-moving Nantucket, with Bubbly Jane completing the order of the top 3. Treat Gently is a bay mare, a daughter of Cape Cross from Kid Gloves by In the Wings. Bred in Great Britain by Juddmonte Limited and owned by Juddmonte Farm, trained by Bill Mott, ridden to victory by Kent Desormeaux. Treat Gently covers the mile in 3 furlongs on the Belmont turf in 2:14.09. That'll wrap up this edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed this look at racing action from around the country. We hope you'll be back next week for more great stakes racing action. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.